my name's Tom Blackshaw. I'm the Senior Manager for Revenue Enablement at Hudl. Hudl are a very exciting company. We offer sports data through video analytics with software and hardware, so it's quite an exciting place to be working in. Enablement at Hudl's a relatively new concept. We've been there a few years and it's had different iterations, but over the last 12 months there's been huge change. My direct manager, who's the Senior Director for Revenue Operations and Enablement, came in about 10 months ago. And the team's grown a lot and changed a lot since then. I only joined the business myself 4 months ago, at which stage we'd already identified Highspot as the enablement software that we wanted to use, the enablement platform. And it was in its early stages, the infancy of how do we go about implementing this. We'd gone through a testing period, and it was a case of how do we implement this. So it was a case, from my perspective, where do we pick it up? How do we run? How do we position it? How do we start to demonstrate that value? So a lot of the sort of strategy around how do we roll this out was myself and my team. I've got a team of 8 people, sort of split across EMEA and the US, 4 in each area. One of my team joined the company a few months prior to me, so she's been here about 7 months, and her role is focused around content enablement. So she's really took ownership of the Highspot platform, understanding it from scratch, all the way through to seeing the launch, which was at the start of April, so literally 6 weeks ago, right through to where do we want to take the platform over the coming year. People have engaged with the platform. We're seeing people using it, we're hearing great anecdotal feedback, and it's now evaluating what do we need to do now to drive further adoption? What do we need to do to take it to that next stage, rather than just being content management, which it's probably in that stage at the moment, to something that's really useful and beneficial that salespeople see value in. People like product marketing can start to understand their data and what's being looked at and how it's being looked at, and start to add real value behind the tool. The initial program that we wanted to move away from was the content that we have. We've got great content, great collateral that exists out there within the business that our salespeople can use for customer-facing content. The challenge that we faced is where this was stored previously was a combination of Google Drive and what we call sync, our internal intranet, so to speak, that had grown arms and legs and become a little bit of a storage space as well. And when you wanted to find that content at the right time and in the right place, it wasn't available. So the initial goal was to say, can we create that one-stop shop that has that one version of the truth? When I come to speak to a customer, what is the right content I need to use? Is it up to date? Is it accurate? Is it branded? You know, does it represent that same image, whoever we're speaking to, that they know that's Hudl that's coming to talk to them? And that's the stage that we've got to right now. The next stage is where we start to build those sales plays and we can start to tailor the content based around the audience that really speaks to the challenges that they're going through. Ultimately, as any salesperson thinks, what's going to get me the quickest route to the sale? I get that mentality. I've been a salesperson, I've been a sales leader, so I understand they live in the moment. The key thing for me is saying, yes, we should do that, but we should also make sure that the content we're sharing is the right content. It's no good going through and finding you've got slides that are 3 years old. It doesn't share that same professional image that our competitors will be doing in the market. So it's really important to have that one version of the truth, and we move away from a salespeople are just creating their own content to actually we're managing the content and delivering it in the right way. Prior to using Highspot and the launch of Highspot, we faced quite a number of challenges. One of those was, are we using the correct content? Are we using the up-to-date content? The second one of those was, is that content even being engaged with? We have so much things that are produced by our product marketing or other marketing functions. We didn't know when we send it to a customer, do they even look at that? Is there any value in that? And salespeople would spend time bringing all this content together, but we couldn't measure the return. Now that we've implemented Highspot, we've already started in the last 6 weeks since launch, we've started to look at what content's being looked at, how many people are viewing that, how long are they spending on that. I saw a great example only the other day of a 25-page presentation, and I could see that the first 6 pages, great engagement, people are spending time, they're looking at that. Post that, there's a lack of engagement. And that's great because that gives you the insight, and not just the insight, but the intelligence that we can actually do something with that. Because why send them all those other pages if people aren't looking at that? What story does that tell us? And it's being able to use that data that we gather and say, what do we do with this data? What does that mean to us? Because if we can identify that trend in more than one place, then that's telling us a little bit of a story. The key drivers for us since we've actually launched have been around the insights around who's engaging with the content, what content is being engaged with. We're in a unique position where we've uploaded a lot of content, but we don't know what of that content's valuable, and it's ensuring that enablement as a function can create that segue between sales, between marketing, between product, and bring it all together so it works collaboratively. Salespeople need content that's going to resonate with people. We need to make sure we're producing that right content and it's telling the right story. So at the moment, 6 weeks from launch, it's been the insight around what content is being used at this stage. Highspot's already started to drive better sales and marketing alignment. It's doing that through partly collaboration. It prompts a conversation. And instead of just marketing, creating content that exists on a drive, and then an email or a Slack message is sent out to say, hey, this content exists. Now there's only the one way of getting that information, which is through Highspot. It literally becomes that one source of truth. Nobody questions, is this the latest version? Because it's the only version. It updates the minute marketing or product marketing update the content that exists already. So it becomes that one single source of truth. And starting to get product marketing to own their spots, own the content that they're responsible for, means that they can always ensure that the correct version is out there for salespeople to use. On top of that, we can start to see some of the engagement. And we actually had a great workshop with some of the Highspot team yesterday, where we really wanted to understand in that analytics, in that reporting, what are the bits that can resonate with our marketing team? What is the bits that resonate with our sales leadership, so that we can start to roll out their education, roll out their skills, so they know which levers to pull and where we need to focus at the next stage.